Well, welcome to the Racing Year. I wanted to take some time to share this historic occasion where the Mercedes F1 car came to Sonoma Raceway this past weekend. And I just thought that I could make a little photo collage of what I observed after the weekend and how they disassembled the car to be able to get it ready to go back to England to be displayed at Brackley, where their head offices are. So these are going fast. So here's the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is a very integral part of the racing car. Look at all those knobs and little switches that the driver gets to deal with. And I'm just fascinating because this is the closest that anybody can get to a Formula One car in the United States. And this is the very first ever undertaking of having a modern day Formula One team come out to do demonstration laps at a California circuit. I think the first ever that was ever done, I think, was Ferrari back in 2004 when they had their F1 Cliente at the Monterey Historics. But to see this car at Sonoma Raceway was such a privilege, and to be up close with it and to be able to make recordings and take pictures of it was such a privilege. I'm just amazed by all the ducting that is on this car. It's all carbon fiber, and here's a little shot of the exhaust, and it's just so amazing to be up close with it. And from what I heard, it set a new track record at Sonoma Raceway. This is a hook that you need to use if a guy's being electrocuted by the hybrid batteries. That's what you got to do to pull them out of there. And so the car goes in this box that goes on a ship, or no, it goes by air freight to back to England. So this is the box that the car goes in. So I was just fascinated by the preparation that they had to do. They had to take the car apart. They had to remove the hybrid batteries from the car before it was shipped, and each of these boxes had to store all the cargo. This is a driverless car, and so I helped actually push this box in. So I actually contributed a little bit, and so here's a video of the nose cone going into the bag, and it's going to be zipped up. And for what I was amazed by was that there was a piece of carbon fiber sort of wedged underneath the front wing to be able to keep it off the floor, which was so interesting. You wouldn't even miss it if you didn't know what it was. So here's a rear shot of the exhaust, which they allowed us to get back behind the car at the end of the day. And here's the DRS little device that goes up and down with little switch on the steering wheel. And then here's another one of the exhaust. But every possible spot on this car has some sort of aerodynamic wings on there to just help it go faster. And this is the high voltage sticker I thought was interesting. And so it obviously runs on Petronas gasoline, and so this is the fuel that runs the Formula One cars, the Petronas Premax fuel, which is, I guess, from Malaysia. So, and then here is the big moment of the car going into the box. So it took all these guys to get it up the ramp, and they used these belts, I guess, or straps to go on top of the wheels, on top of the tires to secure it from moving. And so there's a little instance on the other side where it sort of makes a loud clanging, but nobody was injured. But this is just such a amazing display of teamwork by this team, and everybody's fully engaged. Everybody knows what they're doing, and I think this guy at the front is the leader of the crew, and pushing on the suspension A-arms or whatever. But all these kids look like they're under 30. I mean, they're at least 25 years old. They're early 20s, and they're all British. Just fascinating to hear them all talking. There was actually one Australian. I have to admit that. I think the guy there on the left of the box, he's Australian. Yeah, that guy with the beard and the little, the different haircut. So these guys were just like doing their thing, and this is what they do, and so this car will go into the box, and then it'll get wrapped basically in a bag. It'll just be zipped up around with a bag, and they'll zip it up, and it'll just be, she's put to bed, that sort of thing. So it's really simple stuff, but yet the orchestration that takes place when all this happens is just fascinating, and all the stuff that goes into where this car goes afterwards. And so this car will go, from what I heard, it'll go to San Francisco International Airport, and then it'll be loaded onto an air freight airplane, probably a DHL plane, and then it'll be flown to London, and then it'll be shipped, probably put on a truck to go to Brackley. So once they get it into position, when it's always in, they'll make a yeah sound. It's funny. Sort of like when a golfer makes a birdie at the British Open, everybody goes, yeah. So, I don't know, I can't hear what's going on. But just, I think it's cool. Here we are at the end. So the car's in the box, and it's being prepared to be zipped up in the bag, and so they have it zipped up here in the back of the box. And then I think this is the back of the box. They left the rear wing on, and so everything's packed up, ready to go, and everything goes on the proper shipping apparatus to get it back. So that's it. Thanks for watching theracinggear.com. Check out my other stuff from the Sonoma Speed Festival.